There comes a time in life where you look around and say, "Is this it?" You feel stuck. The days blur. The dreams fade. And the fire inside you, it flickers. But let me tell you something today. You are not lost. You're just being recalibrated. You're not broken. You are not behind. You are right on time. Setting goals isn't just about writing something on paper. It's about reclaiming your life. It's about giving yourself permission to dream again. You've got to believe there's more for you, even if you can't see it yet. That belief is the beginning. Start small. Start scared. Start confused. But just start, because you don't need to have all the answers right now. What you need is clarity of desire and the courage to take the next right step. Don't worry about how far you've fallen. Focus on how high you're willing to rise. Stop waiting for motivation. Create it through movement. Because the moment you take one step toward your vision takes 10 steps toward you. And I promise you, once you taste purpose, you'll never be satisfied with survival again. There's a lie we often tell ourselves in the silence of our struggles. I'm lost. We say it when things don't make sense, when the job doesn't fulfill us, when relationships fall apart, or when we wake up day after day feeling like we're just existing, not living. But let me speak truth into your life. You are not lost. You're in the middle of a transformation. You're not at a dead end. You're at a divine detour. What feels like confusion is often a redirection. Life isn't punishing you. It's pushing you. It's trying to get your attention and realign you with a deeper, more powerful version of yourself. You see, there are moments when we outgrow the life we've been living, but we haven't yet grown into the life that's meant for us. That's where the discomfort lives, in the in-between. And in that space, it's easy to believe that you've lost your way. But no, what's really happening is that the old routines, the old dreams, the old versions of you are being stripped away so that something stronger, wiser, more aligned can emerge. It's like a GPS that recalculates when you take a wrong turn. It doesn't scream at you. It doesn't judge you. It simply says, recalculating. That's what life is doing right now. Recalculating your path. The problem is, we've been trained to think success is a straight line. But the truth is, the most powerful breakthroughs come through breakdowns. Feeling lost is not failure. It's a signal. It's a message that where you were headed no longer serves the person you're becoming. When you embrace that message instead of resisting it, you start to see your confusion not as chaos, but as construction. Life is rebuilding you, brick by brick, from the inside out. The question is not, what's wrong with me? But rather, what am I being prepared for? This shift in mindset changes everything. Because when you stop calling yourself lost and start calling yourself in progress, you give yourself permission to grow. You give yourself permission to breathe. You stop trying to rush to the finish line and start trusting the process. And that trust is everything. Because the truth is, you're not broken. You're being built. You're not lost. You're being realigned. Setting goals is not just a productivity tool. It's an act of self-respect. It says to the world, I matter. My life matters. My time matters. When you take the time to set a goal, no matter how big or small, you're declaring that you are worthy of direction. You're telling yourself that you deserve more than drifting through the day or repeating the same cycle with no growth. Goal setting is a way of standing up for yourself, especially when life has tried to knock you down. It's you saying, I may not know everything yet, but I care enough about my future to start aiming somewhere. We live in a world where many people wake up with no fire, no aim, no reason to push forward. But when you decide to set a goal, you begin to break that pattern. You begin to shift your energy from survival mode to purpose mode. You start taking ownership of your time, your choices, and your future. And even if that first goal is as simple as wake up earlier or drink more water, it matters. Because it's not about the size of the goal. It's about the shift in mindset. When you set goals, you stop treating your life like something to be endured and start treating it like something to be shaped. You see, many people think goal setting is only for high achievers, for those who already have it all together. But that's not true. The people who need goals the most are often the ones who feel the most lost. Because without a target, your mind will wander. Your days will blend. You'll feel like you're always running, but never arriving. A goal, even a humble one, gives you something to return to when the world distracts you. It becomes your anchor. And every time you move toward that goal, you send a message to yourself. I am worth the effort. And let's be honest, when you don't respect yourself, it shows. In your habits, in your relationships, in your energy. But when you begin setting goals, you slowly begin to repair that relationship with yourself. You begin to trust yourself again. You say what you mean, and you do what you say. You prove to yourself, I follow through. I show up. I'm worth showing up for. That's how confidence is built. Not through perfect outcomes, but through consistent commitment. That's why setting goals is more than a task. It's a declaration of self-worth. One of the biggest traps people fall into when they feel lost is believing they need perfect clarity before they can move. They think they need the whole plan, the full picture, every answer before they begin. So they sit. They wait. They overthink. But let me tell you something. Clarity does not come while you're standing still. It comes through movement. Action is the filter that separates confusion from direction. You don't figure life out by thinking about it. You figure it out by living it. You can't solve confusion by sitting in the middle of it. You have to walk forward, even when the path isn't clear. Because when you move, something powerful happens. You get feedback. You learn what works, what doesn't, what feels right, and what drains you. You discover your strengths not in theory, but in practice. Every step forward, even the messy ones, teaches you something about who you are and what you want. And those lessons, they're more valuable than any motivational book or podcast. You are your best teacher, but only if you give yourself the experience to learn. Most people don't suffer from lack of talent. They suffer from paralysis by analysis. They keep asking the same questions. What if I fail? What if it's the wrong move? What if I'm not ready? But here's the truth. Doing nothing is also a decision, and it's the only one guaranteed to get you nowhere. Life rewards those who are willing to risk imperfection for progress. You may not get it right the first time, or the second, or the 10th, but every move gets you closer to what's right for you. You're not trying to find the perfect answer. You're trying to discover your truth, one step at a time. So stop trying to think your way into a perfect life. Think less. Do more. Start the project. Make the call. Try the workout. Test the idea. Speak the dream. You don't have to be ready. You have to be willing. Because clarity isn't found in the comfort zone. It's found on the other side of action. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start moving and trust that direction will meet you on the way. When life feels overwhelming, when everything around you seems out of order, it's easy to fall into hopelessness. You start to believe that nothing you do will make a difference. But let me tell you something powerful. There's always something you can control. You may not be able to control the past. You may not be able to change what people said or did. You might not even know what tomorrow holds. But you still have a choice in how you respond, how you show up, and how you take the next step forward. We often wait for the big breakthroughs, the perfect opportunity, the miracle moment, the massive change. But transformation doesn't begin with huge actions. It begins when you take control of the small things. Can you wake up 10 minutes earlier? Can you drink more water? Can you write down how you feel instead of holding it in? These seem like small wins, but they build the foundation of personal power. When you take ownership of the little things, the big things start to shift. That's not a coincidence. That's the power of intentional living. You don't climb a mountain in one leap. You climb it one step at a time. And it starts with where your feet are. Focus on what's in front of you. You can't control other people's opinions. You can't control the economy. You can't control the mistakes you've made. But you can control how you talk to yourself today. You can control whether you keep showing up or give up. And that control, however small it may seem, is your entry point into a new life. You take back your power when you stop obsessing over what's beyond you and start moving with what's within reach. And the beautiful thing is, as you start to control the controllables, your confidence grows. You begin to trust yourself again. You prove to yourself that progress is possible, even when the path is uncertain. The world may try to knock you off balance, but when you focus on what's in your hands, you create stability from the inside out. That's how you build momentum. Not by waiting for life to calm down, but by anchoring yourself in what you can do right now. We've been conditioned to believe that we have to feel motivated before we take action. We think we need to be inspired, energized, and totally confident before we start. But the truth is, motivation doesn't come before action. It comes from action. That spark you're waiting for. That energy. That fire. It doesn't appear out of thin air. It shows up when you move, when you make a decision, when you take a single step in the direction of your growth. You can sit for days, weeks, even years waiting to feel ready and never get anywhere. Because readiness isn't a feeling, it's a result of movement. The moment you take even the smallest step forward, something inside you shifts. You feel a little more alive, a little more in control, a little more confident. You don't have to sprint. You don't have to leap. You just have to move. Maybe it's 5 push-ups. Maybe it's 5 pages. Maybe it's 5 minutes of doing the thing you've been avoiding. But once you move, the fog begins to lift. Your mind gets clearer. Your blood starts pumping. And that's when motivation finally shows up. Not before, but because you got started. Think about it. When was the last time you waited to feel like it before doing something important? How many days did you lose waiting for inspiration that never came? The truth is, your emotions will lie to you. They'll tell you to stay in bed, to wait until Monday, to quit before you've even tried. That's why you have to act first, and let your emotions catch up later. Action silences the doubt. Action builds momentum. And once momentum starts rolling, you'll wonder why you ever waited. So many people wait for the perfect mood, the perfect mindset, the perfect timing. But success doesn't belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who move. Because once you move, you shift the energy. You go from powerless to powerful. You go from stuck to strong. Motivation is not a lightning bolt. It's a muscle. And the more you move, the more you build it. Not because it's easy, but because you were brave enough to begin. So many people walk through life chained to their past, chained to the mistakes they made, the people who left, the chances they didn't take, the words that were spoken over them. They replay their failures like a movie stuck on loop, and they let their history define their identity. But let me tell you something today that could change your life. Your past is a chapter, not the whole book. What's behind you was preparation, not limitation. The pain didn't come to destroy you. It came to prepare you for something bigger. You see, it's easy to believe that who you were is who you'll always be. But that's a lie. You are not your failures. You are not your trauma. You are not your lowest moment. You are the lesson that came out of it. And the beauty of life is that you don't have to be who you were 5 years ago, 5 months ago, not even 5 minutes ago. Every second is a chance to rewrite your direction. Every breath is another opportunity to turn the page. Your past might have shaped you, but it doesn't have to cage you. When you realize your future is bigger than your past, you start living differently. You stop settling. You stop shrinking. You stop telling small stories about yourself. Because now you understand, you are still becoming. There are dreams you haven't touched yet. People you haven't met yet. Strengths you haven't discovered yet. Don't let the shadow of yesterday block the light of what's ahead. The best parts of your story haven't even been written, but they won't be written if you keep rereading the old chapters. Let the past inform you, not imprison you. There is no growth in regret, only in reflection. You can honor where you've been without being defined by it. Some of the greatest stories ever told began in brokenness, and yours might be one of them. But it can only unfold if you believe this truth with your whole heart. Your future is not a continuation of your pain. It's a declaration of your purpose. So here's what I want you to remember. As you walk away from this moment, you are not behind, you are not broken, and you are absolutely not finished. The fact that you're here, seeking more, means that something inside you refuses to settle. And that's something. That's your power. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need a flawless past. All you need is a reason and the courage to take the next step. Goals are not about pressure. They are about possibility. They are not about proving anything to others. They are about discovering what's possible for you. You may have felt lost, but today, you take back your direction. You begin again, with intention, with boldness, with fire in your spirit. Because the moment you decide to set a goal, no matter how small, you declare to the world that you are still in the fight. And as long as you're in the fight, your story is still being written. So stand tall, breathe deep, and move forward with the truth burning in your heart. The best of you has yet to come.